What's up, losers? Today I'm back with another r/niceguys bonanza. Checking out a couple of cringe-inducing or chuckle-worthy posts from some really nice guys, and sharing my responses to them. This is episode 27 in the Nice Guys series. And I've got some interesting posts lined up to unpack. So without further dilly-dallying, let's get into it.
Alone forever, but I'm fine or okay with that. I've just accepted that women are always going to look for Chad or Tyrone, the bad boy, and they always go for guy with the looks, money, and status, six-figure six-pack, etc. Don't go for good men, unless they have the looks, money, or status, meaning they're rich. That's the only time they go that good guy or nice guy. So that normal guy won't even get a second to talk to a woman. Because that women will immediately shut him down, or cut him off, without even getting to know him first. Women think those nice guys are creeps, when in reality, they are not like that. Only time a woman doesn't find you a creep or pervert is when she is attracted to you. But like I said, I'm not upset or mad. I've accepted their nature and everything. I just focus on myself and self-improve for myself. I currently red-pilled or MGTOW. They have good content.
Sure bro, that totally checks out. I completely believe that you've accepted a life without women, and moved on to do your own thing. There are, definitely, no residual feelings to be found here. Not a trace of resentment or bitterness to be detected. Only peaceful serenity. Your Zen detachment truly is a sight to behold. Just magnificent. No, but seriously though, I don't know who this guy thinks he's kidding when he claims to have put women behind him. But it's not working, because no guy who is legitimately unconcerned about his solitude and celibacy is going to sit around writing whining posts about the Chads and Tyrones who get all the girls, or complaining about how women just don't appreciate the nice guys of the world. They would be too busy, actually doing their own thing, working on stuff or engaging in their hobbies or whatever. So the indifferent tone that this post tries so hard to strike is a miss for me, and I don't know why he even bothered in the first place. Because really, there's nothing wrong with being sad or upset about being alone. What matters is how you respond to it. And the tortured rationalization on display in this post is most definitely not the way to go. Even according to its own internal logic, this post doesn't make any damn sense. It claims at first that women will only go for bad boys, especially if they have looks, money, or status, but then immediately contradicts this, and acknowledges that women will also go for, quote, good men, if they have looks, money, or status. So really, the operative factor is not the niceness, or lack thereof, of these guys at all. It is the looks, status, and money. The only reason to bring up the whole nice guy versus bad boy question is to vent his frustration at men who are more romantically successful than he is, to reassure himself that he is the truly deserving one, and to blame women for choosing other guys over him. In other words, the post is transparently, laughably self-serving, and entirely unconvincing in its analysis. As far as the post's claims about women's preferences for handsome, high status, or wealthy men go, it is obviously not entirely wrong. Women do, on average, tend to prefer successful and good-looking men over unsuccessful and unattractive ones. But this is hardly surprising or scandalous. And it's also not exclusive to women. People like pretty people, people like being significant, and people like money. There's no mystery involved. It's just basic human nature. Still, the post is really overstating the point when it suggests that this makes it impossible to succeed with women. if you don't have six-pack abs and a six-figure salary. Because clearly, lots of women do go out with men who fail to meet these standards. And any attempt to deny this can only be sustained if one deliberately ignores the plain reality of the world around them. I wouldn't deny that it makes things more difficult if you're unsuccessful or unattractive. And to some extent, it's a shame that society operates according to such superficial standards. But once again, these standards are not exclusively applied to men, and they are not insurmountable. With a good attitude, a bit of patience, and reasonable expectations in what you are looking for in a partner, just about anyone can find someone to build a happy relationship with. So if this guy is really content to turn his back on women, and do his own thing, then you know what? I'm happy for him. But if, as I strongly suspect, he still longs for some kind of connection, I would urge him to set aside this whole woe is me attitude. Work on his personal issues. Adopt a more positive mindset. And try again. Because who knows, maybe if you stop assuming the worst of women, they might actually give you the time of day. Just a thought.
You should leave a comment if you're into geeky anime guys that are sweet at heart. Say there is a woman in a room with 10 men, and all 10 men are telling her how beautiful she is, and how amazing she is, and lighting her cigarette, and buying her drinks, and just treating her like gold. Then all of a sudden, in walks the 11th man. He takes one look at her, and says, "Hey, how ya doin'?" Turns his back on her, and starts talking to his boys. That's the guy she wants to be with. The 11th man, not any of the 10 men, who we treating her well all night, but the one guy that couldn't care less. Why? Because for some reason, women don't want nice, they don't want real, they don't want to be treated well. I mean not at first. And sometimes not ever. And I think that's crazy. And I refuse to play that game. Get a girl by pretending that I don't like her. I wanna be with a woman who's real, who digs it when I'm nice to her, who doesn't see that as a weakness, or take me for granted when I tell her that I think she is.
Okay, so, I don't want to be overly mean to this guy. Because where a lot of nice guys trademark are clearly just angry and spiteful, and looking for an excuse to go off on women, this dude at least seems genuinely confused about why women would prefer a guy who doesn't shamelessly fawn over them and shower them with gifts and attention right from the get-go. So instead of just roasting our friend here over his bad take, I will do my best to explain things as simply and non-judgmentally as possible. Here we go. When you say that the 10 guys who constantly tell the girl how beautiful she is, and how amazing she is, and buy her tons of drinks, are being real, and the guy who just casually says, "How ya doin'," is not real, you've got it backwards. The guy who keeps things casual with a girl he doesn't even know yet, and treats her just like he would treat anyone else, is being real. He's not trying to bamboozle her with overblown praise. And he's not trying to indebt her to him financially. He is simply acknowledging her as an equal, as a fellow human being, with whom a relationship of some description may be allowed to develop comfortably, free of pressure or expectation, if both parties are interested. The other 10 guys, conversely, are clearly not being real in the way they present themselves to the woman. They are just saying and doing whatever it takes to impress her, and in all likelihood, to get her to eventually sleep with them. And the woman isn't a moron. So she understands this. She knows that she's not so amazing, that these guys just can't resist telling her about it. Because ultimately, she's just another person, not some almighty goddess. She also knows that there is an ulterior motive behind those free drinks. Because you'd have to be a fool not to. And when she weighs all of this up, she understandably concludes that if she wants to be treated as a human being, and not just attained like a trophy, she'd be better off with the 11th guy than she would with the 10 sycophantic nice guys trademark. So when this guy says that women don't want to be treated nice, he's both right and wrong. Right that women don't want to be constantly sucked up to, put on a pedestal, and praised beyond all reasonable measure. But wrong in assuming that they would dismiss any legitimately nice words or acts out of hand. If you treat a woman like an equal, and a real human being, first, the vast majority of women will be more than responsive to your genuine kindness. But if you fail to clear this initial hurdle, then you can't blame women for assuming that you're just another ingratiating creep, trying to get them into bed with fake praise and free drinks. Because, well, that's what you are, ha ha.
Am I the asshole for complimenting my boss's body? I, 24 male, work as a supervisor at a fast food joint. My former boss, 28 female, is extremely attractive. She left due to finding another job. When she first started, we got along fine, but she became quite distant, and started acting standoffish towards me. About 2 weeks after, she started acting weird around me. She asked the owner of the restaurant to get a new door for the back entrance, as she is quite small, and struggled to close the door when she would lock at night. The door was overlapping the hinges at the top. I was there when she asked, and I said, maybe it's a good exercise, so that you could build up your arms a little, to match your thick thighs. She gave me a weird look, and I said that it wasn't meant as an insult, that she is in great shape. She ignored me, and I saw her talking to my colleague, a female supervisor, and they both have been super weird with me since. I don't think I did anything wrong. Am I the ass? Edit. On the getting fired comments, I think she did speak to head office, but I get along great with the director in charge of our store. He hasn't said anything, or been acting weird toward me at all, so I really don't think I did anything wrong.
Good Lord, what is wrong with this guy? How could he possibly not realize that he was in the wrong here? It's just astounding. Like, imagine having the audacity to comment on your boss's thick thighs, in the first place, but then on top of that, imagine saying something so unbelievably inappropriate, and not immediately realizing your mistake and apologizing. But if that wasn't enough, imagine going on Reddit, relaying this story, and expecting to receive even a modicum of support. It simply defies belief. I'm almost speechless. The fact that I have to explain something like this makes me want to run head first into a brick wall. But whether this guy's comment on her thighs was a compliment or not, is not the issue at hand here. It is unacceptable to make unsolicited comments about your coworkers' bodies. End of story. But this goes double for comments that are so clearly sexually charged. Like, thick thighs. Are you out of your freaking mind? That's sexual harassment, buddy. Plain and simple. What on earth were you thinking? In spite of all of this, though, the worst part of the story is the edit at the end, where OP tells us that the male director in charge of the store gets along with him, and hasn't done anything about it. So he thinks he's going to be fine. I really don't even know what to say to that. It's just appalling. The fact that even in 2022, men in positions of power are still able to just brush their mates' misdeeds under the carpet, and allow this shit to keep happening to the women working beneath them, is just infuriating, and deeply depressing. I don't even know what to say to close this one out. Man, just awful. Sorry to any women, or any men, for that matter, who have to put up with BS like this, when you're just trying to work. Sheet sucks. I hope things improve one of these days. But sadly, I'm not holding my breath. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed your time with these suave, eligible bachelors, and that my commentary didn't distract too much from their raw sexual charisma. What do you think? Was that first guy really okay being alone? Or was he just putting on a brave face? Is sucking up to a girl for hours and buying her tons of drinks to try to get into her pants being real? Is it appropriate to comment on your supervisor's thick thighs at work? Which of these guys would you invite round for a cup of tea? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll say hey, how ya doing, and make you fall head over heels for me. Literally. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.